Hi guys, Chris here for Drums Bonedo. Gretsch recently introduced 2 new sets in their Catalina series. Today I'm checking out the Micro with a 16-inch bass drum. Have fun! All components of the set are packed in a single box. The shell dimensions are 16 by 12 bass drum, a 10 by 7 tom with a suspension mount, a 13 by 12 floor tom and a 13 by 5 snare drum. There's also a single tom holder with ball joint, 3 legs for the floor tom and a riser for the bass drum. By the way, the tom holder is so long that you could easily play the bass drum without the riser. However, before you can start playing, the bass drum and the floor tom still need to be fitted with heads. The shells and the hoops of the bass drum are painted in the new color Dark Cherry Sparkle, which looks really nice. The edges of the 7-ply mahogany shells are cut inwards at the typical Gretsch 30-degree angle, so there's nothing to complain about here. The only small issue I have noticed is that the endpoints of the snare beds are not perfectly aligned. However, the snare wires are positioned properly on the head. And for the heads, Gretsch relies on Remo UT products made in China. The tom and snare drum heads are single-ply coated, and on the bass drum in particular, the rather wide in relation to the diameter integrated damping rings on both heads are noticeable. Another typical Gretsch feature is that the 10-inch tom has only 5 single lugs per side. And the 13 by 5 snare also only has 6 double lugs. In these sizes, the set seems ideal as a compact travel set or children's drum kit, but the Catalina Club Micro should also be of interest to jazz drummers, although purists tend to swear by the combination of 12-inch tom and 14-inch floor tom. In any case, the sound of the kit is much bigger than I expected. The 13-inch snare in particular stands out very positively and sounds much better than the weak-sounding 14-inch snare I last tested in 2019 with the Club Jazz set. So let's see how the kit performs in the sound check. So a few words on the tuning. For the first take I tuned the bass drum heads rather low and only placed a small Morton cloth in the shell, and this gives the drum a very nice punch with a focus on the lower mids, and it also sounds surprisingly fat in the room. I also like the toms, and the 13-inch floor tom goes down surprisingly low as well, although you shouldn't expect any miracles here. And even with a little damping on the better heads of snare and toms, the set sounds still full and nice. However, if you tune the bass drum with the factory heads upwards, it becomes significantly shorter and less resonant. In my opinion, the wide rings in the pre-damped heads take away too much energy here, which is why I fitted the drum with single-ply heads on both sides for the higher tuning for a more traditional jazz sound. I could imagine using this set for a mixture of acoustic jazz, pop songs, or drum and bass styles. Another advantage is that the small bass drum can be fitted with normal tom heads, which means that you won't break the bank when experimenting for the right bass drum sound. So here's my conclusion. The Gretsch Catalina Club Micro is a good sounding addition to the lineup, despite the rather small and sometimes exotic shell dimensions such as the 16x12 bass drum and the 13x10 floor tom. The set sounds much larger and more dynamic than expected. The 13-inch snare in particular stands out very positively, so you don't have to plan with a replacement snare, as is often the case with other compact sets. The same applies to the factory drum heads, which are absolutely fine to work with for the first time. And both in terms of sound and appearance, the rather moderate price tag of €745 seems absolutely fair on this small 4-piece kit. But what's your opinion on the Catalina Club Micro? Write it in the comments. So that's it for today. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Write a comment to trigger the algorithm, and if you're interested in the Catalina Club Micro, you can check out the purchase links in the video description down below. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye!